It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for Season 10 of The Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be looking at the promo pictures that they revealed for the next upcoming episode of The Walking Dead, Season 10, Episode 7, which is called Open Your Eyes. Now, a lot of these pictures complement the 2 sneak peeks that were released. So, it might make sense for you to go check out the other video I did where I broke down everything we saw in those 2 sneak peeks, and then you can watch this because it might actually help you more to understand what might potentially happen based on these promo pictures and the sneak peek. But starting off with this picture of Lydia in a jail cell, she's just reading. Now what's very interesting is that if you remember, a couple episodes ago, we did find out that Lydia can't read. So it's very cool and interesting that Lydia is trying to learn how to read. I think that's extremely interesting. And the other thing is that she's all alone in the jail cell. She doesn't have anyone to talk to. She doesn't have anyone to trust. And that pretty much connects with what happened a few episodes ago where she was attacked. So I think that this makes perfect sense and it adds a lot to the story. And it fleshes out Lydia's character a lot. And I absolutely love that. But this actually connects to something that was in the sneak peek. In one of the sneak peeks, we have Daryl and Carol bringing the Whisper prisoner back to Alexandria, and they put him, or they bring him to the jail cell, but Lydia's in the cell, so they ask her to leave. So that's directly connected to this scene. And then this shot as well. So we have Carol bringing the Whisper prisoner, who's blindfolded, into the jail cell. And then we have this shot of Daryl, again, in the jail cell, most likely from the same scene. And then we have this shot of Father Gabriel at Alexandria. Now this also may be part of the sneak peek that we saw, which was also part of the same scene. So after Lydia leaves the jail cell, Carol goes to talk to her, and then Father Gabriel shows up and starts talking to or yelling at Carol. If you haven't watched my breakdown of that, go check that out because this makes more sense to you if you watch that first. But I think this comes from that scene. And then we have this shot of Daryl talking to Carol, and I think at this point Daryl is trying to reason with Carol. And this might actually be connected to what Father Gabriel told them. And I think that Daryl is taking Gabriel's side at this point. But I absolutely love the way Daryl looks here. He looks pretty badass here, which I absolutely love. And then a scene that's from a different angle, but from the same scene. We have Carol and Daryl. But what's interesting, look at here. Carol has blood on her hands. I think this blood is the Whisper prisoner's blood. It's interesting that, it's there. Not saying it means anything, but it's pretty cool. Now, Carol has Ezekiel's ring as well, so that's also very interesting. Why does she have the ring or still have the ring? Not sure. Then we have this shot of Carol bringing maybe food, maybe just a tray or something to the jail cell. Maybe Siddiq is going to come in and treat the Whisper prisoner's wounds. Again, this connects to something that was in the sneak peek. And then we have this shot of Siddiq actually walking in. Dante is there with him. And obviously Father Gabriel is in the background. Now in the sneak peek, Father Gabriel did say, I want to be there through this entire process because he wants everything to be transparent. He doesn't trust Carol and Daryl, which kind of makes sense. And then we have this shot, which is Gabriel talking to Siddiq. The prisoner Whisperer is there. Siddiq is treating his wounds. Dante's in the background. Now, what I think is super interesting is how this may all come together. Because there was a lot of speculation and rumors that Dante was a Whisperer. At this point, I don't fully buy that, but I wouldn't be shocked if that happens. I think it's possible, but unlikely. Now, why is that interesting or important? If Dante is a prisoner, or assuming Dante is a prisoner, this is extremely bad and destructive for the survivors. Dante sees this Whisperer as a prisoner. If he's a Whisperer himself, he might leak that information to the Whisperers. And this could come back to bite them in the ass. So that's very, very interesting, and it could make things extremely complicated if that's in fact where they're going with this. But then we have a different shot of Gabriel standing there, Siddiq treating the Whisperer prisoner's wounds, and Dante in the background. And then this shot of Carol, most likely just bringing more supplies to treat the guy. And then we have the prisoner here. And this is obviously after Siddiq treats his wounds. And then we have this shot of Father Gabriel and Daryl. And then this shot of them inside the jail cell. And then we have this shot of Siddiq looking at someone in bed. This guy is most likely someone who's sick because of the sickness that's spreading at Alexandria. And at this point, I think it's obvious that the source of the sickness is the water. We did see a couple episodes ago that Gamma was contaminating the water by putting walker blood or walker guts inside the water. And that was Alexandria's water supply. So I think people are drinking that water and getting sick from it. And there will most likely be some casualties from this. And there's also a tease or an Easter egg here, or a clue, whatever you want to call it. There's a glass of water sitting right there. And then we have this shot of Dante, and then we have this shot of Gabriel and Siddiq together, and then this shot of Gabriel, and then this shot of Gabriel talking to Siddiq, and then this shot of Siddiq. They may be talking about the sickness, they may be talking about the Whisper prisoner, they could be talking about anything really. And then this shot of Siddiq, I think he's inside Rosita's room here, if I'm not wrong. And then this shot of Gabriel bringing Rosita to her room. We do know Rosita is sick, and there's a possibility she might die in this episode. At this point, I would say I am 40 to 50% sure that Rosita is going to die. But there's a part of me that thinks that they may be throwing us off, and Rosita might not actually die. But I do think we're going to see a big death. Whether that's Rosita, Father Gabriel, or Siddiq, I don't really know at this point. I'm leaning more towards either Siddiq or Rosita at this point, but I could be wrong. Then we have this shot of Eren walking up to Gamma at the Whisper border. Now, based on what we saw in the trailer, we do know that Gamma brings a note to Eren, so it's going to be interesting to see what that's all about. There's two ways this could go. Gamma could either change her mind and doesn't want to be a Whisperer anymore and wants to help Eren and the survivors and act as a double agent for them, or she's acting as Alpha spy to get information or get an advantage over the survivors. It could go both ways at this point. Now, there's something that bothers me. Why did Eren not tell the survivors at Alexandria anything about the water supply being contaminated? I have no freaking clue. I mean, he did notice it, right? So why is he sticking around? Why isn't he going back to warn them? I think that's a little weird. But then we have this shot of Eren again, and then this shot of Carol shooting something or someone, maybe a walker, and then this shot of Carol again, and then this shot of Lydia. Now, we do know Carol takes Lydia somewhere, not sure where. Maybe at this point they do get some information about where Alpha's horde could be, and Lydia could just tag along to help them, or Carol could be using Lydia to get an advantage over the Whisperers and basically get back at Alpha in some way, shape, or form. And that's pretty much the final image. Hope you guys enjoyed. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video. If you like what you see, press like, subscribe for more content, and press the bell button to receive notifications for daily uploads.